Welcome to the final European race before the Formula One circuit heads back to Asia. This weekend, it's Monza. Welcome to day one of the Italian Grand Prix. Some fans have commented that this track isn't as difficult as it once was due to the recent track modifications around Parabolica.
The Parabolica is a demanding high-speed corner, and in the past, drivers were known to stray into the gravel trap. But around the edge now is a strip of tarmac, so if a car does go off the track, they should be able to recover.
One of the most famous corners here at Monza is the Variante del Rettifiglio, the first corner chicane. It's been the scene of so many first lap incidents over the years, and I think the teams will be holding their breath, hoping that they make it through that corner cleanly at the start today.
This is such a tricky corner to find the right braking point for. You approach it around 220 miles per hour down the main straight, then scrub off 170 miles per hour in just over 100 meters. It's very easy, therefore, to overshoot and end up driving through the escape road.
What's going on, guys? Over here. Welcome back to my F1 2015 career mode. We're back with part number 12 today for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. And obviously, because we're in the Ferrari, we have to do well here. Full stop. No excuses. We have to do well here. Otherwise, we will literally get slated in the press here in Italy. We have to do it. We just have to do it. Either me or Kimi have to get a good result. We have to at least be on the podium. That is a must. So we really need to get our, grip together. We got a little bit lucky in Spa last time for part number 11. You haven't seen that yet? Pause the video now. Here's your chance. Go pause it. Check it out my channel. I uploaded yesterday. We got a little bit lucky with the result, not going to lie. But we can't rely on that luck for this Grand Prix because I don't think it's going to come. Because Italy has usually not been a very good Grand Prix to me in the Codemasters F1 franchise. I've usually been actually quite a turtle at this circuit, surprisingly. Even though it's quite an easy circuit. Just straights and some corners. Which aren't that challenging, really, if you think about it. It's just about getting the setup right, but I've just never got the setup right, and I've just never got the race right in any Codemasters franchise. You can look back at any of my career modes on my channel, and I've just never gone well at Italy, so we need to make sure we do well. We start off on the right foot in practice by getting P1 in practice, so hopefully that's a sign of things to come. It was a little bit tricky to get the setup right, but eventually I felt a bit comfortable for it, so we're going to go ahead to qualifying here at the Italian Grand Prix, and hopefully we can at least try and get near to that front row spot that we need to get here.
The pit lane will be open shortly, which means it's nearly time for qualifying for the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. I'm expecting a good showing from Ferrari at their home race this weekend. They've had a lot of success here over the years, and though they haven't won a race here since Fernando Alonso in 2010, you can never say never.
The fans here are amazing and always provide a lift to the Ferrari team, so I'm expecting them to be right in the mix come today's qualifying session.
So here we are for the Italian Grand Prix qualifying. It is time. It is showtime for me and Sebastian Vettel. Our setup is pretty solid. Felt good in practice with the prime tyres. Didn't do any option tyre running, obviously. So hopefully when we strap them on, they will feel just straight away, we'll get up to grip with them and they won't feel any different from the prime tyres. Just hopefully a lot more grip than the prime tyres. So we load up the setup with Jeff handing us our tablet there. And now into turn 1 for our first flying lap. Taking it quite cautiously into turn 1. Just to making sure we don't lock up. Because obviously if you lock up there, you go straight on and that's your entire lap ruined in just a matter of seconds into turn 1. So very crucial to get the braking right there. So we're a little bit cautious there. We've got the brake bias to rear. We set it back up to balance now. For the rest of the lap, you don't need the rear bias to rear, I felt. I wanted it back on balance because otherwise your car, the rear end just wants to step out, especially in braking zones like the one towards Ascari. You just need the rear balance, I felt, just for the turn 1, and then you can set it back to balance. So we're coming through onto the end of this first lap. Right now, P14, Rosberg right now out in front. We set a lap time that gets us 4th place at the moment, so that is not exactly what we want, so we're going to continue on for a second flying lap here. So now into the chicane here. Right now Rosberg is in the lead, Raikkonen has got 3rd place, I'm in 4th, and it looks like Hamilton will probably be in 2nd place. We cut later on to the end of the lap through Parabolica. At the moment Kimi is in pole position, so at the moment Kimi is doing the work for us. He is doing what the Tifosi want. He's on pole position. What will this be? It is pole position by us. It is a 1-2 for Ferrari right now. Will it stay that way? If it does, that will be absolute euphoria here for the crowd there on the left. You can see in the grandstand, it could be a 1-2 for Ferrari, and oh, how sweet that would be for the Tifosi fans. Let's see. Let's go to the race.
Welcome to Monza, where the crowd are ready for today's action. And we hope you're ready to see the world's best drivers fighting it out for that #1 spot. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix. A wonderful performance from Sebastian Vettel yesterday sees the driver starting from P1 in today's race. A race that, of course, he'll be hoping he can go on and win.
He has clean air in front of him, so we'll be hoping he can create a gap over the first few laps. If the cars in second and third can keep close until the first round of pit stops, then they may be able to take advantage on the undercut.
Hoping to build on their impressive performance last time out will be Ferrari. The last Grand Prix saw their best result of the season. It's a performance that they'll want to match or even better this time out.
It was a good performance, but it was just one race. If they want to maximise their potential in the Constructors' Championship, they'll need to produce that kind of form more often between now and the season's end.
So we actually managed to do it. A 1-2 for Ferrari in qualifying. Absolutely amazing stuff here. And that means the entire front row is locked out by the prancing horses in red. That is awesome. And surely now this must mean we have to go for the win. Minimum the podium, but the win would be absolute euphoria here for the fans of Ferrari in Italy. I think the entire press would blow up if we got that win. So let's try our best. It's going to be a one-stop. The nerves are kicking in, but it's time for the Italian Grand Prix. We go to 3, now 4, now 5. Red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. And we're off from pole position. Can we get the win today? Let's see. The Williams car shoots off like a bullet on the right-hand side. Bottas now leads the Grand Prix into turn 1. Raikkonen on my right-hand side. I'd brake very late down to the first turn. Can we go right around the outside of Bottas? We squeeze him out there, and we've got first place back in the Grand Prix. Bottas still on my right-hand side, I think, in my mirrors, but we've just got about first place there. Bottas still on my inside. We're just trying to squeeze him out, and we've just got the straight line speed, and we've just managed to bag first place back from him after turn 1. Kimi down in third place at the moment. Both Mercs behind him. So it's me, Bottas, Raikkonen, I believe then Hamilton and then Rosberg. But it looks like Hamilton has overtaken Raikkonen there actually behind us. A bit of a yellow flag situation. So I think someone may have gone off. It may have been Kimi. But we must look at a replay of that. Looking at a replay of the Italian Grand Prix. We are off now for 5 red lights there. You can see I get quite a poor start. Bottas gets an electric start. The Williams always gets a good start this season for some reason. But we go down to turn 1 there. I brake very late. We go right round the outside of Bottas. We squeeze him out here. We just kind of squeeze him to the edge of the circuit. He gets a little tyre in the gravel, and then Raikkonen slipstreams him. I'm still very much side by side with him at this point, and we go right round the outside of him there and try to out-drag him, and we do eventually. But the one to look at is Kimi right behind him, because I think Kimi loses a position to Hamilton as both Mercs are fighting, and there we're on board with Kimi now, and there it is, Hamilton going right round the outside of Kimi there. Actually a lovely move by Hamilton, and Hamilton makes it stick here as Kimi tries to go down the inside. Oh God, no! Oh God, that's bad news for Kimi there. He's been tapped on the inside there. He just tried to stick it a bit too much in there. Maybe he should have backed off. I'm not too sure. Tell me whose fault you thought that was in the comments. I thought maybe Kimi should have backed out a little bit there. Unfortunate though, and a bit unlucky for him. So now he's being chased by Nico Rosberg. So we continue on, no longer a replay now going with you live on the POV. And Rosberg trying to go right around the outside of Raikkonen through Ascari and onto the back straight. Rosberg still side by side with him. Raikkonen now to drag race Ferrari versus Mercedes. As we look behind on the POV of Hulkenberg, looking at this scrap, looks like got a Sauber side by side with him. So 4 cars in the span of 1 second there. You could throw a blanket over them right there. And up ahead, we've got Hamilton, myself, and Bottas fighting ahead for the top 3 positions. But below them, we've got a beautiful scrap here with 4-way scrap. Rosberg trying to overtake Raikkonen now into turn 1 for what will be 4th place at the moment. Behind them, Hulkenberg and a Sauber of, I believe, Felipe Nasr fighting for what will be 6th place, won't it? So Rosberg goes right around the outside of Raikkonen. Raikkonen tries to squeeze him out. He's got the advantage at the moment, but now that Mercedes power unit comes back into force. Raikkonen tries to fight him. We've got Hulkenberg behind him, then Felipe Nasr, and then I believe behind them is a scrap between the Red Bull, I think. But now on board with Hulkenberg right behind Raikkonen. We cut later onto the Grand Prix. This is now Raikkonen on the back straight on the very next lap, at the end of the next lap, and getting the beautiful toe on Rosberg here. Obviously a very low drag, high speed circuit here at Monza, and I think both of our Ferrari cars have low drag because we were able to get 1-2 in that qualifying session. Unfortunately, Kimi squeezed out and kind of half spun at the beginning of that Grand Prix, so he's down in 4th place, fighting hard for that 4th place, I must say. So well done to him. Rosberg still in the slipstream here. Obviously DRS enabled by this point, I think. So he's going right round the outside of Kimi here. Can he stick it down the inside now to the second part of that chicane? No, he can't. He has to settle for what will be 5th place at the moment. But he gets back in a tow and will be able to slipstream Kimi. He looks like he's trying his best. But now we cut later on the Grand Prix. Rosberg can't get Kimi down to that section, so he waits until the end of the lap here, and once more this is just a titanic slipstream battle between Kimi and Rosberg, just slipstreaming each other lap after lap. Absolutely beautiful to see. I mean, it's a shame we don't see this in real life, really. It seems like the dirty air isn't really modelled in this year's game amazingly well, but it does mean we can get battles like this. That's the problem in real life. There's just too much dirty air that doesn't allow for this much slipstreaming in real life, but it's beautiful to see in the game. Rosberg goes down the inside of Kimi. Can Kimi stick it around the outside? We're looking on board from Hulkenberg there. A nice different angle to look at the battle here, but now once more, exact same battle. You could basically think I was copying and pasting the exact same battle, but it's literally a different lap, but the same exact thing's happening. They're slipstreaming each other. Raikkonen goes behind Rosberg now. Hulkenberg's closing in now, interestingly. So while these two scrap ahead, Hulkenberg has managed to close in. And all while this is happening, I'm out ahead in 1st place at the moment. I believe Bottas is in 2nd, or Hamilton is in 2nd. No, there we are. Hamilton in 2nd. As this was happening behind me for the battle for 4th place, I'm out in 1st, banging in that purple lap time, going fastest, getting the gap to Hamilton. You can see Jeff is telling me I'm growing the gap by a second a lap. So here in Italy, I'm absolutely flying. The Tifosi is giving me the energy I need, giving me that extra little boost like it did to Hamilton in Silverstone, and I'm absolutely flying here. Hamilton 2nd, Bottas 3rd at the moment. But now we cut back to that battle for 4th place now, a lap later on. Kimi right behind Rosberg, again in the slipstream, moves to the left-hand side. Hulkenberg is right behind us, trying to look at this battle as well. Maybe you're kind of just snooping around, seeing if these two will collide maybe, and Hulkenberg can pick up the pieces. But through Parabolica, side by side there, Rosberg just have to back out a little bit, has a twitch of oversteer there, but now he'll get the DRS and he'll get a really easy tow here. Look at that. The Mercedes power unit plus DRS just cruises past Kimi there, and Kimi has to settle down for 5th place, sorry. But can he go down the inside? He still goes down the inside, still side by side. And this is just absolutely ridiculous, I think you have to say, guys. I cannot believe we are seeing so much battling with the AI. You've seen more AI on AI battling than you have me battling the AI this race so far. And Kimi goes down the inside of Ascari there on Rosberg. Tries to make it stick. Unfortunately, just doesn't have the grip. And now Hulkenberg, looking at the back of these two, still very much there. It looks like Hulkenberg's just being patient here, seeing when he can make the move. But again, once more, for like the 500th time, Kimi makes the move right around the outside of Parabolica. And now it looks like Felipe Nasr wants a piece of the action. He goes down the inside of Hulkenberg into Parabolica. Now Rosberg and Kimi battling. Nasr and Hulkenberg battling. And look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars in the span of what? 3 seconds? And 6 cars going side by side into turn 1 there. Raikkonen and now Hulkenberg going side by side. Looks like Kimi is now falling back as Hulkenberg goes right around the outside there. And now Hulkenberg up into 5th place. Rosberg now in 4th. Hulkenberg 5th. Then Raikkonen, then the Sauber of Felipe Nasr, then Felipe Massa, and then we've got, I think that was Sergio Perez, and then the Red Bull Daniel Ricciardo. So now later on into the lap, Felipe Massa slipstreaming Nasr. Can he go down the inside of his fellow countryman? Yes, he can. And so now from 4th place, it's Rosberg, Hulkenberg, Raikkonen, and then Felipe Massa. And now we can see Massa weaving a little bit on the straight there. Very strange to see. But Rosberg trying to protect his 4th place. Looks like Massa's getting a beautiful tow on Raikkonen. And alternatively, Raikkonen's getting a good tow on Hulkenberg with the DRS here. Let's see, into turn 1, they go quite neatly into kind of a nice single file there. We've got Nasr behind him, then Perez, and then I believe it's Ricciardo in the Red Bull. But here, down to this long right-hander, will Massa slipstream Raikkonen? Here we go, in the tow, he's gaining, will he make a move? I don't think so, I think he's going to have to be patient. Yep, he is patient, he breaks behind there, he's going to have to be a bit cautious there to try and make the move. But now, we come to the POV of Hulkenberg later onto this lap, towards Ascari, and Hulkenberg is actually, oh my god, he's slipstreaming Rosberg. I think Rosberg's got a problem. Surely he's got a problem because Hulkenberg has just steamrolled past him. It looks like Massa's going to steamroll past him. Massa's overtaken Raikkonen and tried to overtake Rosberg in one straight. Massa trying to make 2 moves in one little tight section. And Rosberg, look at that, he's surely got a problem. I think maybe Rosberg's ERS, like Hamilton's failed in Spa, I think Rosberg's ERS may have failed here in Italy, because look at this whole side-by-side action. Nasr and Hulkenberg, Raikkonen and Rosberg, it's just all two. They're there's too many cars for me to keep up with, lads. There's just too many. Look at this. Massa's now out ahead in 5th place. Raikkonen here in 6th. Then Rosberg, who looks like he's being overtaken by the Sauber there. But now Raikkonen goes down the inside of Massa to try and get 5th place. Massa's locked up there on the rear tyre, I think. So now we've got the Sauber going right around the outside of Rosberg, and he gets him on the exit with traction. Nasser gets Rosberg. Rosberg has to have an ERS problem. That has got to be an ERS problem. He can't be that slow at this stage, even with tyre wear. He's got to have some sort of problem there, so that he's probably nursing. So right now, Hülkenberg in 4th, Massa in 5th. Now Raikkonen is in 6th, and then in 7th, I think that's Nasser, and then 8th is Rosberg at the moment. So now here for 4th place, Massa slipstreams Hülkenberg so much, gets that low drag Williams, just gets the job done there, even before we get to the braking zone of the Parabolica. And now Hülkenberg has to settle back for 5th place, and behind them, Raikkonen fighting hard on that Sauber, but they both dive into the pits. Looks like up ahead, Hülkenberg also dives into the pits. Ricciardo continues on in the Italian Grand Prix, but what crazy action we have had so far. And meanwhile, you must be thinking, where on earth are we? Well, here we are, earlier on lap 12. We come in for the pit stop right now. So this is obviously before the other people behind us like Raikkonen and Nasser made their pit stops. Just the fact there's so much action, I continued on with the action from the other onboards. And now we're showing you sort of a replay, but it's sort of live as well with our pit stop now into the pit stop phase. This will be our one and only stop here at the Italian Grand Prix for the prime tyres, white wall tyres. Now in practice, they felt very solid. So I'm hoping that will just be, again, just doing what we did on the option stint, controlling the race and just bringing the car home. Hamilton at the moment, before the pit stop phases, I think he was about 6 seconds behind us, so hopefully that will stay. But now, we're cutting later onto the Grand Prix at the moment. We're on board with the Toro Rosso. I think it might be Max Verstappen, but I can't exactly tell by the helmet there. But up ahead, it looks like a Force India is trying to make a move on the Red Bull there. I think that might be Ricciardo. Yes, it is Ricciardo on those prime tyres, and Hülkenberg there on the option. So I don't know if Hülkenberg's already made his pit stop, or maybe the Force India is doing a 2-stop here. But now Hülkenberg goes on the left-hand side of the circuit, up to Parabolica, overtakes Ricciardo with some nice slipstream. Behind them, though, is Max Verstappen, I think it is. I can't really tell again with the helmet, as I said. But Toro Rosso is behind them, looking very, very eagerly at both of them. Look at that. He's slipstreaming them. Both of them carry on. So Hülkenberg, I think, is doing a 2-stop here. Hülkenberg to the right, the Toro Rosso to the left. So the Red Bull gets sandwiched there between the Toro Rosso and the Force India. But it looks like the Toro Rosso is coming out on top there into turn 1. And yes, he does. A double overtake there for, I want to say, Max Verstappen, I think. I'd like to think it's Max Verstappen there. Double overtake into turn 1. Beautiful. But now onto the next lap, Hülkenberg comes back at him and re-overtakes him there for, I can't even tell what position this is, because obviously on the replay cameras we can't see what the position counter is. But I think it's probably around P8 or P7. But as you can see now, looking at the replay, just cycling very fast through all the POVs. And right now, everyone is starting to make their pit stop phases, and it's getting into a late kind of phase into the race. But cutting on back to our POV, onto lap 14 here. It's been a few laps now since we made our pit stop, and as you can see, we're controlling the race still. Hamilton in 2nd place at the moment. Rosberg is in 3rd at this point, but I think that's because he hasn't made his pit stop yet. But now we cut later on to lap 19. As you can see, we've grown the lead a little bit more. We've still got the lead under control, going very easily into turn 1, just taking it cautiously, saving a bit of fuel. I think at this point, Jeff told me I had 5 kilos extra fuel we were going to end with at the race. So taking it very calmly here at the Italian Grand Prix. I've got this under control. Another Sebastian Vettel-esque performance here, like we've seen so many times in his 2013 Red Bull era. And as we come on to lap 27, literally nothing happened in our race. It was the perfect race, a simulation race, if you will, for us. And we're going to come through, can you believe it, guys? 1st place in the Italian Grand Prix. Forza Ferrari!
Yes, great drive, well done. Slow switch down. Numero 1 is back, top class. Great drive. Ferrari's back. Fantastico. Sei un grande, Seb.
Yes! Sì, ragazzi! Oh, mi senti? Grazie mille, ragazzi. Grazie, dai, forza Ferrari!
So it's Sebastian Vettel who's brought home the race win today. He mastered the conditions and produced a dominant drive to take the win.
It really was a great performance and one that I think will be remembered for a long time to come.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye and see you again next time.
What an absolutely insane race. So much action with the AI, and that's the thing, none of the action was even with me. It was the AI. All the AI on AI battles, absolutely immense. And on top of that, I won the race. That is the top on the cherry in terms of the action we saw from the AI coming through to get the home win for Ferrari in front of the Tifosi fans. That is absolutely awesome. If you did enjoy that episode, guys, smash that like button. Comment below what you thought. Subscribe if you're around here for daily Formula 1 content. That was absolutely epic stuff there at the Italian Grand Prix. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoy today. Till next time, we're now second in the Driver Championship. That's awesome. Give it a like again if you did enjoy it. Comment below what you thought. Subscribe if you're around here for weekly F1 content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoy today, and I'll see you guys next time.